Little Mercy Mambo reacts after receiving 2 measles and pneumonia jabs. She's just one of many Zambian babies born to adolescent mothers today. Mercy was conceived last year when her mother, Natasha Mvula, who's only 17, was in her final year of secondary education.
It was one of the days he's just a very close friend, not in a relationship with him. So I was heading back home from seeing my best friend, and we met along the way. Went to his place. He was not in a sober state. We were just in a state where I had feelings for the guy. I did not know about him. And I can say, I don't know how I can say it, but one thing led to another.
One thing led to another indeed, and as it happens in these matters, Natasha fell pregnant.
The first few weeks, I just had a hunch. It wasn't that thing whereby I knew it had happened, but I just had a hunch that maybe this has happened to my body or it hasn't. Then after some time, I noticed that I had not seen my periods. So I had thought maybe it's just one of those things, waited and there was no show. Then that's when I realized that I was really pregnant. I had gone to a clinic. Nobody at home knew about that. I had a check because we're under a scheme. So I had a check at one of the clinic that we're under a scheme, and the test came out positive.
The news that she was going to be a mother hit Natasha hard. That's because this last born in a family of 4 is not only an orphan, but also lives with her brother.
I was scared. A lot of things were going through my mind because I was actually in an exam class. So I did not know what to do. The first reaction that I had was abortion. That's the only thought that I had on my mind then. I had not thought of anything else, just wanted to get rid of it. I overdosed on caffeine like 3 times, which almost led to me having stomach ulcers. But since I was stopped at the clinic, they said it's only going to affect my stomach other than doing that because it's got some chemicals in it.
Recent official reports revealed that 3 out of 10 adolescent girls become pregnant before their 18th birthday, giving Zambia the 5th highest rate of teen pregnancies in sub-Saharan Africa. Experts are unanimous that the issue of adolescent pregnancy is one that Zambia should confront.
It's a serious problem in the sense that it is a symptom of teenagers having unprotected sex. So what we don't know in terms of statistics is how many episodes of teen sex result in pregnancy. That's the first thing. So if a girl gets pregnant, it means that she has not had protected sex. So not only has she exposed herself to pregnancy, but she has exposed herself to HIV and also to other sexually transmitted illnesses. So in that sense, it is very, very serious. It means that our young girls are having sex early, and also it is unprotected in school and out of school.
Life, though, is not always easy for young mothers.
It has changed in some way, and in some way it hasn't. Okay, I'm a person that loves going, walking, taking walks and moving around. So now it's made me sit at home. So I never used to do a lot.
There is the fact that, when somebody is as young as 13, 14 or 15, their body is not physiologically and biologically ready to sustain and to deliver a pregnancy. And then when they deliver, are they psychologically and mentally prepared for motherhood? Motherhood doesn't come as an instinct. It has certain responsibilities that a mother must have, and they come better and better the older one has, the experiences of other mothers and so on. So it is a serious problem, but it is also symptomatic of other things that have gone wrong.
Zambia has the second highest number of orphans and vulnerable children, or VCs, in Africa. By 2009, the number of OVCs had increased significantly to 1.3 million. Of these, 50% were attributed to HIV and AIDS. These children inevitably are exposed to all kinds of vice, including having to sell their bodies to survive. Social worker Chitalu Chishimba runs a home for street children in Lusaka.
The girls are not in school. So you find that the only activity that is found as they grow older, especially issues of puberty and adolescence, they tend to be sexually active, and that gives them an income because they're not busy, their parents mostly cannot support them. So they indulge into sexual activities, and thereafter they become pregnant, and other issues comes in like STIs and HIV/AIDS related cases.
One of those children is 16-year-old Modesta Ngandu. She's 4 months pregnant. She conceived when she was in her 8th grade and withdrew from school.
Na boyfriend wangu sisi zinashita plan nankache na mimba clinic na bwana naenda so chabnika mnaendo bananipasa chikadi bibi magazi bati nikapapa futi nzapitiliza school nzayamba.
Modesta is not the only case that Chitalu has had to deal with.
So a situation of Levi, the mother is 17 years old. She was married. She's a mother of 2. She's been abandoned after having the second child, and the father to both children has just disappeared. So she's now back in school. She's at the age of 17. She's gone back to grade 8, and this is her second month of being in school. And Levi's brother, who happened to be Patrick, he's clocking 3. We have managed to reintegrate him back into the family. He's with a grandmother. But then Levi's here with us. We are hoping we can see how best the family settles. And then possibly we might take him back. But we are still with him, and the mother is gone to school.
The problem of adolescent pregnancies is not exclusive to Zambia. According to statistics obtained from the United Nations Population Fund, UNFPA, there are more than 500 million girls in the developing world today, shaping humanity's present and future. However, millions of these girls face discrimination and are often treated as social outcasts. Dr. Mary Otieno is UNFPA country representative.
UNFPA is doing a number of things to address adolescent pregnancy. The first one is working with the Ministries of Education, Health and Youth to ensure that adolescents and youth have comprehensive sexuality education so that they have the information and skills to enable them lead responsible and productive lives. The second one is providing sexual reproductive health services for adolescents that are youth-friendly. And to do this, we work with the Ministries of Health, Community Development to ensure that the service health providers are trained on providing services that are sensitive to the needs of adolescents and youth. The other one is promoting family planning and ensuring that young people have the services that they need in terms of condoms for dual protection, so that they can protect against pregnancies, STIs and HIV. We also work with traditional leaders and other ministries to end child marriage, because most of the pregnancies occur within marriage. And we work with many policymakers to advocate to ensure that girls stay in school and transition to secondary education.
Dr. Manasseh Piri believes health education is key to effectively tackling this problem.
The health education that we give in terms of the use of protection when teenagers have sex, or anybody who's having sex that is not intended to produce a pregnancy, should be taken seriously. When we have gone out to the public and said, you know, let us introduce in schools sex education that includes the provision of condoms so that our children don't become pregnant, or so that our children don't get infected with HIV, the society holds its arms up and say, look now what they're doing, they're teaching children to have sex early. We are not. We're just saying have it safe, because they already are having, you know. Secondly, we need to take the empowerment of women, and women were once girls, a lot more serious, to a different level. We need role models of women. We need constant education, a constant noise that says that, you know, women are equal to men. Women can grow up to be whatever they want to be in this world, that they have equal opportunities to enrich our country of Zambia. What does that mean? It means that they must stay in school. If they do indeed become pregnant while in school, you know, we have a situation where they are allowed back into schools. But have you ever spoken to a girl who has been pregnant and then gone back to school? The society doesn't accept it. Schools don't accept it, and we need to open that up. If a girl makes a mistake, that mistake should not be for her a mark on her face or on her body for life. So society must increase the emphasis that we have on children staying, girl children staying in school, because there is a future for them. If they do become pregnant by mistake, by force or whatever, we must accept that they can make mistakes and then get them back into the system so that they can get educated and empower them.
The UNFPA, sponsors of this documentary, recognize and acknowledge the need to address adolescent pregnancies and other sexual reproductive health issues affecting young people in Zambia in order for them to reach their full potential. Every 30th October, UNFPA publishes the State of the World Population Report. This year's report is under the theme Adolescent Pregnancy. Dr. Otieno sheds more light about this year's theme.
It is important because in order for us to achieve the Millennium Development Goals of ending poverty, reducing maternal mortality, reducing child and perinatal mortality, and reaching our educational goals, we will not be able to do this if adolescent girls are getting out of school because of pregnancies. We will not achieve our development goals if half of the population is not transitioning to higher education and therefore losing employment opportunities. So this is important for governments, for non-governmental organizations, for the UN partners, civil society organizations, faith-based organizations, to use for advocacy, to look at the magnitude of the problem and to see where Zambia stands with regard to this global problem.
The United Nations Population Fund works to deliver a world where every pregnancy is wanted, every childbirth is safe, and every young person's potential is fulfilled. Back to Natasha and Modesta, who are both clueless when asked about their plans for parenting, a situation compounded by the fact that the men responsible have abandoned them to face the music alone. It is therefore important that men and boys are engaged in programs to reduce teen pregnancy. But Natasha and Modesta have learned vital lessons about the dangers of unprotected sex and have some wise words for their peers.
For those that are not pregnant, I would just love them to abstain from sex, and if they cannot abstain, at least use a condom every time they do have sex. But the best is abstinence, because prevention is better than cure. For those in my state, at least think of your future and your baby's future. Mukazizire mukeza mukankana mamimba vimachinja vintuka kankana mimba zambo vutika ngalube mimba sunga vutika zibiti ngapunzi ari muzai zibiti wapitirize tabokupunzira kwako kazive life yako kusogora.
As the world launches the 2013 State of the World Population Report, everybody is called upon to make concerted efforts to highlight and strengthen efforts to reduce adolescent pregnancy.